Breaking. Israel don't talk say them go join President Trump to protect Christians for Nigeria. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu don't use him New Year message and now say Israel go open new front we go focus on protecting Christians for Nigeria. Waiting Netanyahu talk. Netanyahu yan say Israel don't already fight 7-front war and win, but now them they see new wahala, how to protect Judeo-Christian values. He talk am clear say persecution of Christians no fit continue and he call Nigerian government make them act strong against religious violence. The announcement happen as they address Christian Zionists and he frame am as both moral duty and strategic move. Why Nigeria? Nigeria don dey face plenty attacks on Christian communities, especially for Middle Belt and North, where extremist groups dey target churches and villages. Netanyahu say Israel go stand gidigba to help stop the killings and wahala where they affect Christians. This move fit change how Nigeria and Israel they relate, especially for security and intelligence cooperation. Christian leaders for Nigeria don't welcome the announcement, say it show international recognition of their suffering. Analysts they talk say the move fit strengthen Israel-Nigeria ties, but if it bring diplomatic tension because of sovereignty matter. Some critics they warn say foreign involvement fit complicate Nigeria's internal religious wahala. Netanyahu New Year message, January 1, 2026. Focus, protect Christians for Nigeria. Defend Judeo-Christian values, stop persecution. Stronger Israel-Nigeria ties, but possible tension. Israel's New Year message and strategic shift. In his New Year address on January 1, 2026, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared that Israel would extend its protective reach to vulnerable Christian populations in Africa, with Nigeria singled out as a priority. Netanyahu emphasized that Israel had recently fought what he described as a 7-front war, emerging victorious, but warned that a new challenge had arisen, safeguarding Judeo-Christian values against rising threats. Speaking to an audience of Christian Zionists, he framed this initiative as both moral duty and strategic necessity, highlighting Israel's role as a defender of religious freedom worldwide. Nigeria has faced persistent attacks on Christian communities, especially in the Middle Belt and northern regions, where extremist groups have targeted churches and villages. Netanyahu stressed that persecution of Christians cannot continue, calling on the Nigerian government to act decisively against religious violence. Israel's involvement signals a new dimension of foreign policy, blending security cooperation with religious solidarity. Global and local reactions. Christian leaders for Nigeria have welcomed the announcement, seeing it as a sign of international recognition of their plight. Analysts note that Israel's move could reshape diplomatic relations between Jerusalem and Abuja, potentially deepening military and intelligence cooperation. Critics, however, caution that foreign intervention in Nigeria's religious conflicts could complicate local dynamics, raising questions about sovereignty and regional stability. Risks and challenges. Nigeria may resist external involvement in domestic religious issues. Extremist violence is tied to broader socio-economic and political factors, not just religion. Other African nations may view Israel's initiative with suspicion, fearing geopolitical competition. In summary, Israel don't declare say them go protect Christians for Nigeria, and Netanyahu use him New Year message take announce am. Na big move wey fit bring hope to many, but also raise questions about how Nigeria go handle foreign involvement. A lot of things are happening at the same time, paving way for the freedom of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the restoration of Biafra. Because in the course of this foreign intervention in Nigeria, they will finally come to the conclusion that the only solution to Christian genocide in Nigeria is Biafra freedom, because Muslims and Christians cannot and can never coexist in Nigeria, not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
Well, it's kind of late for You are representatives of the Christian Zionists who made Jewish Zionism possible. It's hard for me to conceive the emergence of the Jewish state, the re-emergence of the Jewish state, without the support of Christian Zionists in the United States, also in Britain, but the main thrust was in the United States in the 19th century. So Christian Zionism facilitated the rise and success of Jewish Zionism. And it's been an enormous partnership since then. I've known some of you. Mike, how long have we known? Since we were teenagers, something like that? A long time.
46 years.
46 years. Since we were a little more than teenagers. But I can say that we have no better friends, and I mean that sincerely. You have stood by us through thick and thin, and now we're challenged by new challenges, but equally with new opportunities. We've fought, as you know, a seven-front war, and we've come out in many ways victorious. But there's an eighth front, and that's the front for the hearts and minds of people, especially young people in the West, and for me, especially in the United States, and for me, especially on the conservative wing of the United States. And I think it's not just Israel's battle. I think it's our common Judeo-Christian civilizational battle, and I think we have to engage in that battle as forcefully, with as much resolution as we engage the other seven fronts. I think it affects not only Israel, it affects America, it affects our alliance, it affects the future of Western civilization. And I don't think I'm exaggerating one bit. I have here my colleagues, Israel's ambassador to the United States, to the United Nations, our consul general in New York, our consul general in Miami, and every one of my delegation. We feel that this is a theater that has to be engaged with great force. Who's to engage in us in this? It's us. It's you and us. And we have to, we have to be, I think we have to stand up and be counted. They have to hear our voice. There are some people who believe that, that faith should be silent and terrorism should be understood. No. Faith should speak its voice, and terrorism should be confronted, not understood, confronted and defeated. And that is what we're engaged in right now. So I want you to know that I spoke with President Trump yesterday. I said this publicly too. I see the battle against us and the battle against our Judeo-Christian tradition basically being waged around the globe. And it's waged primarily by two forces: radical Shiite Islam and radical Sunni Islam. That means the axis that is led by Iran, much battered, admittedly, but still there, and the axis, the Sunni axis, led by the Muslim Brotherhood, which permeates everything. They go to Europe, they go to the United States, they go to Africa, Nigeria. And we are conscious of the fact that Christians are being persecuted across the Middle East, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Nigeria, in Turkey, and beyond. And we're also aware of the fact, as you are, that one country protects the Christian community, enables it to grow, defends it, and makes sure that it thrives. And that country is Israel. There is no other. None. We are joining an effort to have basically a United Nations of countries that support Christian communities around the world, beleaguered communities who deserve our help. Just as you are helping us, we want to help back. And we're capable of doing that. In Africa with intel, in the Middle East with a lot of means that I won't itemize each one. But this is what our agenda is. It's the main part of our agenda, and it's going to continue with greater force and greater might in this coming year. I want to use this opportunity to wish you all, well, it's kind of late for a Merry Christmas, but a belated Happy Christmas, and not a belated, and on time, a Happy New Year. May it be a year of prosperity, peace, and security for all of us, but especially for the Christian communities around the world. So thank you. Happy New Year to all of you, and thank you.
chukwu chukala ụwa eze a na-ekpesala ọgwụ okike akpọkwuo m Chieke kpọkwuo Chiole kpọkwuo Chiafọ kpọkwuo Chenkwọ kpọkwuo ndị iche ala Igbo ọkwụ aja na ala Igbo mmụọ na-emelu Igbo na mmụọ Igbo na-emelụ mmụọ okwu na mmụọ nta mmụọ kwuru mmụọ niile uhu mmụọ na nnụ mmụọ niile na-emelu Igbo iwe maka na ndị Igbo si na adịghị ahapụ isi aka abụọ ụdọ maka na ngwere hapụ elu ya na onwe zute akpọkwuo m wee na-akpụ na ala Igbo be anyị ekpere na-ekpere ụmụ Igbo niile ụgwọma na-ekwu n'isi ụmụ Igbo niile maka na okwu ọma bụ ekpere wee na-ekpe ekpere n'isi ụmụ Igbo niile na-agọrọ ụwa ọfọ ndụ na ha ya adị ndụ ọnwụ ike niile dị na ndị Igbo ya na ọhịa ka anyị na-ayọ Chukwu ọfọ ndụ maka na ndụ bụ isi ejebe ejebe ndụ anaba anaba ndụ akpatara ego bụ ndụ akpatara ego bụ ndụ n'aka ji wee na-ayọ Chukwu ya bugoro ụzọ nye anyị ndụ mmaji pụrụ mmaji wee na-ayọkwa Chukwu biko ihe anyị eji eme ụwa ya kọkwa n'anyị agaghị ofu bụ ego Igbo ji azụ ahụ ya akụ ụba mmụọ na-ebute akụ na mmụọ na-ebute ụba ndị be anyị na-akpọ ya ọdọ ọmụmụ ụfọdụ na-akpọ ya akpali ọmụmụ akpọkwuo ụmụ ụlọ wee sụ ndo ọbịa kwa bịa tinye aka n'ibe a na-eme wee gaa aga banye anyị ụba banye anyị akụ maka na-aba ụba ma n'ụwa na-aga a na-eme ụwa na-aga wee na-ekpere ụmụ Igbo ekpere wee sị na ọ bịa dịrịba na mma na eke dịrịba mma na olie dịrịba mma na afọ dịrịba mma na nkwọ